That's not the wedding we want. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you from the get-go 5 things not to do when planning a wedding. The first area to look at. You spend all your money on buying a special engagement ring, but have no plan for the wedding day itself. Now, I've been able to see over the years many guys getting married, but they spend that expensive amount on buying that special engagement ring, but they have no game plan or budget for the wedding day itself. Now, if you're one of those guys, you're actually not ready to have an excellent wedding day. Second person to look at is someone who actually expects everyone else to pay for the wedding day, but they themselves have no plan or budget in sight. Now, obviously, it's great to have families and friends chip in and help make your day excellent. But you know what I think and what I believe? In a way, majority of the weight must come from you because it's your wedding day. So you have those people who actually, they have no plan and they expect everyone else around them to chip in to make that day excellent for them. Guess what? If you're one of those characters, you are not ready for excellent wedding. Third area to look at is you want a lavish wedding but refuse to do any planning or decision making. Like everyone, when it comes to wedding, want to invite every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Would love to, but sometimes we just don't have the resources to make that happen. Now, this is a area where you gotta be realistic and actually cut your coat according to your size. Everyone wants a lavish wedding, but if you don't have the resources to actually make that happen, you need to make a plan. Fourth area is you have a plan to get married, but you change your mind every 2 seconds, hereby frustrating everyone around you that's working to help make that wedding an excellent day. Now, don't get me wrong, when it comes to wedding, things are going to be changing as you go along. But a bigger picture and a bigger plan must be set in place that will help make that wedding an excellent, memorable day. Now, if you don't have that, and you're constantly changing your mind every 2 seconds, guess what? It's going to be a very stressful day, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you as well. And the last and final thing not to do when planning a wedding is you care more about impressing on social media than actually marrying your partner. Now, have you ever seen couples like that where they put more effort into making that extra dance move on their special day so that they can put it on social media to get that extra click, but spend less time coming together to actually have a game and having an excellent marriage and wedding? Well, if you're one of these characters, guess what? You are not ready to have an excellent wedding. Now, we want to have an excellent wedding. And if you're here with me, my name is Ola. I am an accountant for over 15 years, but also I've been married for 13 years. And me and my wife have actually helped plan 15 weddings along the way. So I have some experience that I've gathered over the years, think will help make your wedding day an excellent day. Now, of many things that I've been able to do over the years, or many templates I've been able to really create over the years, this is one that I actually think will be a really good one because I believe in marriage. Many of you know I'm a Christian. I believe to have a strong society, you need a strong foundation, which comes from marriage and having a great relationship with God. But also, I believe in a way as well to have that great wedding day, you need a great plan and a great budget. And that's one thing I'm going to be helping you with today. So come along with me on this journey. As you can see here, I've got this template that you can work with. And obviously it says at the top there, congrats on your special day. What you're going to do with this template is you got a groom there. You're going to type in your name. I'll go in there, Adam. Obviously, you can change the name to whatever name you want it to. The bride, you put the bride's name. Your special day, you're going to add it in there. Go ahead, the 7th of July. Or you can change that, obviously, to whatever day you want it to be. And below here, you got the groomsmen and the bridesmaids. So obviously the number of groomsmen that you have and the bridesmaid, you can add it in there. I've got here 9 and for bridesmaids 9. So you input the figures and then you go to the next spreadsheet, which says budget. So obviously from the field, the information that you inputted from the setup, it will automatically change the details. So it's got Adam and Eve wedding budget. What this one is going to help you do is to set your budget for that special day. So you can see from the top here, you got obviously your ceremony, your reception. It's got the number of adults that are going to be attending that. So for the ceremony, for example, you've got 200 people here, and the reception, you got 120. From here, obviously from the figure that you inputted, is going to put in your actual wedding day. You need to put in the time on the actual wedding day that you're going to be starting. This will automatically tell you how many days you got left for your wedding day and how many weeks you got. Also from this, you can put in your venue where you're going to be having the wedding itself, and then your wedding coordinator, who your wedding coordinator is going to be. From this budget, as you can see, it's quite detailed. I'm not going to go through every single aspect, but I will share with you some of what's on the template. So you can see here, you got the venue, you have the wedding reception ceremony. You can put in the figures here. You have the managers. You can assign whoever you want to be your manager. What I have here is you got details for the venue itself. So I got, for example, maximum capacity 200, venue book time. You can put in the time that you booked it for, the ceremony time, when that's going to be, reception time, when you're going to start, parking. It tells you what the maximum space is going to be, so it helps you make decisions. Below that, you have the food and catering. So you have for the ceremony, for example, if you're going to be having food there, you can put in what your rate is going to be per person. If you want to put in £1.50, whatever, you can decide what the information you want to put in there. And then for reception, you have here, obviously reception, eating and drinking tools, shows there what you need to kind of like be mindful of, like champagne glasses for toast, glasses for drinks, plastic cups if kids are coming. So you can decide, okay, do we need to buy this? If we need to buy, how much we need to spend on it? You have also in there buffet 1, buffet 2, buffet 3. You can decide, okay, are we going to be having various food? How much are we going to be budgeting? You can decide that how many people you're going to be catering for that buffet. So you can come in and put those figures in. And that's what you have here at the bottom. Wedding cake, you can decide how much you're going to spend on that. If it's £400, 500, you can decide what you're going to spend. And then down here, you have the drinks. Like I said, you can assign someone to actually be the manager for that. And you can see here, you've got the ceremony and the reception. You can decide if you're going to have drinks at the ceremony, how much drinks you're going to spend per person. Obviously, this one automatically is automated from the figure that you put at the top. If it's 200 from the top, what figure, what number of people are going to be attending the ceremony there. So these are the details for the drinks. For this reception, you can have you can break down champagne or any other alternative non-alcoholic drinks. You have soft drinks, water, others. From the figure that you've inputted from the top, it will kind of like give you a rough estimate how much you need to spend on it. What you need to do here is obviously, if you're buying champagne or non-alcoholic drinks, you put in there how much you think each bottle is going to cost. And same here as well for the soft drinks, you can put in there how much you think each can is going to cost. And then it will kind of work out the figures for you. Same for the water and others. So you can see here, it kind of gives you the total figures. And you will see top here, it gives you what the total cost is going to be for the drinks. Below here, you have, if you're going to have live bands, DJ for the ceremony, you put in what the cost is going to be. And also, like I said, the manager, you can assign who you think is going to oversee that. And if you scroll down, you have the flowers and decoration. You can put in what the cost for the flowers is going to be. Table covers from what you've inputted at the top there for reception. This will split it divided by 10. So if you have 120 people coming and it's 10 people per table, you're going to have 12 tables there. And what you need to do is obviously put in the cost you think is going to be for each table cover and decoration. Also here you have the table covers. Table covers is obviously, like I said, the ceremony, you will pick up the figures automatically from the top there. You decide what cost is going to be per chair. You put that in, and then centerpieces. You're going to have centerpieces. How much is that going to be? So that will help you to kind of put the figures in, give you what the total cost is going to be. So you have a rough idea what that is. And also, as you scroll down there, if you want the fireworks, you put the figures in there. And then the next category, photography and videography. If you're going to have a photographer, you can put what the cost is going to be, and videographer as well. You put the figures in there, and then it tells you what the overall cost will be. The next category, wardrobes and makeup. For the bride, you have the breakdown there, the wedding dress, bridal shoes, pedicure, manicure, hair makeup. Traditional clothes, it actually breaks down the cost should be, or you input what the cost should be in there. For the groom, likewise, put your suit, your shirts, your shoes. If you're going to be having traditional clothes, you put in the figures in there, and then it helps you to see what the overall cost will be for the groom as well. For the bridesmaids, if you will be spending any money on the bridesmaid's wardrobe, you can pull the figures in there and change. If you're paying for the whole bridesmaids or you want to change the figure, you can do that here, and then it will tell you what the cost will be. Same for the flower girls and ring bearers. If you will be spending any money on that, you put that in there. The next category, wedding stationaries. If you're going to be printing out our service, if you're going to be printing out the sitting plan, table numbers, all that kind of stuff, you can just put in what the cost will be, and that will help you as well to monitor the costs. And then the next category, wedding favors and gifts. So, for example, for the rehearsal dinner, you sometimes might invite people over and you need to get them gifts. Or you might decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to invite everyone over for dinner, and I'm going to pay for everyone's dinner. You could input here how many people you will be inviting, what the cost per head roughly you're going to spend. That will help you to see, okay, can we do this? We have a different plan. Thank you gift. This is for the bridesmaids, groomsmen, or other people helping you with the wedding that you want to buy a gift for. Normally, it's good to buy them gifts for maybe for the bridesmaid. You can put costs in there and what you think you're going to be spending, and that will help you to kind of like have a budget of what you're going to be spending. Also, with this wedding budget, it's not just for your wedding day itself, but also we plan for life after wedding. Many people sometimes have their wedding budget, but they're not thinking about life after wedding. This one actually puts in your housing. So, for example, your rent. So, it will calculate for you what your first month rent will be, what your rent deposit will be. If you're going to be buying furnitures when you move into your first home together, you can put in the figures here, and that will help you to calculate that. Next, honeymoon. Honeymoon, obviously, you can put in your figures here, the flight, hotel, food, any other costs you're going to be spending. As you can see here, how long are you going to be there for? If it's 5 nights, you put in the figures, the 5 nights, you put in the cost per night, and that will calculate for you overall how much you will be spending for hotel. Same for food as well. If you're going to be there for 5 days, you can have a budget for like maybe £50 a day or £70 a day. You decide, and then this will calculate it for you automatically. Below, the next one, other miscellaneous. If you have a wedding insurance, most people don't have that, but if you want to have one, you can definitely put that in there. Transport, bridal car hire. If you want the bride to come in a special car that you rented, you can come in and put the figures in. Also, dowry. For some cultures, mostly African cultures, if you're going to marry the daughter, you got to pay. This will help you to see, okay, what's the maximum? Or you put in the figure, and then you can tweak it down, or you help you to see, okay, what can I actually maximum I can spend on that. You have a hotel cost on your wedding day. Most likely, yeah, you will book a hotel. How many nights are we going to be there? You put in the figure there, the 2 nights, 175 per night, for example. Do the same here. If you're going to be paying for other guests that are going to be coming down to your wedding day, or you can also slot in there who you're going to be paying for, how many nights, And then on the next category here, wedding rings. Wedding rings, if you bought your engagement ring, you don't necessarily need to put it in there, but if it helps you to kind of like see, okay, overall, how much I've spent, you can put the figure in there. If you need to buy your wedding rings, you can also slot in the figures here. Helps you to see what you need to pay for your wedding ring. Also, if you need to kind of like sort out your visas, legal, or other fees, you can put the figures here. and the wedding register fee. If you're getting married, obviously sometimes you need to pay some fees to list that you're going to be getting married, and you can put down there the costs that will be associated with that. And then below here is contingencies. So contingencies, obviously there's always going to be something happening that you do not foresee that you can have a budget for, and that will help you to kind of like recapture those costs when they do happen. So you can see here, you put all those figures in. This one shows you at the top here, you got 13,940. That's what roughly you will be spending on your wedding day. And then you can kind of like then decide, okay, that's a bit too high. We need to kind of tweak something down. If we need to reduce the number of guests we're going to be having, you can come in there and reduce it down. And how much would that be? If you need to change the venue cost down, you can decide if we need to reduce down the food or the drinks. This helps you to kind of capture the whole picture, and then you can decide what you're going to do. The next category here is savings. Savings here is once you've now decided on the budget, now how are we going to fund that budget? So you can see here, this will be today's date. That is your big day of the wedding day. This tells you how long you got, 3 months, 7 days left. And then at the bottom here, got the wedding costs start date. This is when you want to start saving for the wedding day. So I put here 1st of January. You can change that. Date needed by, obviously you need it by your wedding day, but also you can tweak that as well, change that. So this is the cost from your budget. And what you do here is, if other people are going to be helping you on your wedding day, you can put a figure here. So go ahead, 5,600, for example. And then let's say the groom, you save £1,000, put a figure in. The bride, you say 1,500, put a figure in there. So it shows you from the figure that you put in, how much needed to save. You still have 5,840 to save. Now, if you're going to be saving that, it tells you how many months you need to save it by. So you got 5 months to save it by before your actual wedding day. So it shows you here, you got 1,168 you need to save each month to be able to reach that goal. And at the bottom here, the bride and groom are going to be contributing, I can see here, 50% each. It will tell you what that figure will be. So from here, it's got 584 each couple. Now, if you want to say, okay, you know what, the bride is earning more money, you can say, okay, he's going to contribute 70%. I'm going to contribute 30%. And then you can both agree, okay, I'm going to give 8, and then the bride is going to give 550. You can tweak this, and then you decide how much you're going to be raising. So I'll leave it back at 50% each. And then next category is life after wedding. What many people don't do is they plan for the wedding day itself, but they're not actually planning for life after wedding. I believe in a way, if you're going to have a strong wedding, you need to also plan for life after wedding. So what we help couples do as well is to actually go through their budget as well to see, okay, after we get married, are we going to be able to sustain a home? We put all incomes and expenses together. So you can see here, this will combine all the income, all the expenses. If you have weekly expenditures, you can put that in there, and then from, you can calculate from the figures there. And this will tell you where you're going to be. If you're going to be short, like this one shows 144 short in the month of August. This will help you to see as well, like, okay, you know what? If you're going to be short in the next few months, the first few months, okay, whatever we're going to be raising for the wedding, maybe we need to set aside some money to actually help us so that we're not feeling stressed in our first few months getting married. The last thing you want is having an awesome wedding, but then struggling straight after. You don't want that. And finances is one area that causes a lot of stress in marriages. So you want to avoid that from the get-go. The next category is your wedding costs. So once you inputted your budget, this will automatically show up your figures here. And what you need to do is you need to assign we need to pay for those costs. So you can see here we have different tags there. So you got the guest tags, you got the roles, finance by, and manager. So what you have here is the guest tags. You can assign, you can change this, but I put here bride's family, bride's friend, bride work, etc. Roles, those who are going to be involved with the wedding, maid of honor, best man, bridesmaids, groomsmen, and then finance by who's going to be financing the wedding. So if it's yourself, Eve, brides, dad, groom's dad, bride's family, groom's family. You decide who, or both, you decide what name is going to be on there. And then once you've decided that, then you can come in there and then you can change, you can select who's going to be paying for that. So like I say, okay, venue, if it's going to be both of us, bride and groom, you can say select both. If it's okay, food, family, bride's family said they're going to take care of that, you can select that. So you decide who pays for what. And one thing with this is once you've selected that, then this will kind of like give you the total summary at the bottom here, what total amount that each one is going to be paying. So you can see here, groom's dad is going to be paying 2,600. Bride's family is going to be paying 1,908. Both of you are going to be paying 9,036. So it helps you to kind of see, okay, what's the total cost overall? Everyone's going to be chipping in and helping out with. So it helps you kind of like break this down. The other thing as well is you have the wedding day plan is obviously the template that we put together. So on your wedding day, you want to know, we put in details to help make the day run smoothly. So we go ahead with the venue dates, details itself, roles, who's going to be involved in the wedding. We've got family members. Obviously, the ushers need to be aware of those involved in the wedding. You have the wedding parties, the bride and the groomsmen, the bridesmen with there. And then you have down there the ceremony order of service. So this kind of like helps you have a template to use to help make the day excellent. After the ceremony, you have the reception, what needs to happen when. So this is just templates to actually help make that day excellent. And then the next worksheet is the budget and actual payment. So once you set your budget, now you need to make sure when you're paying that you're capturing all your payments. So at the bottom here, you have the date, the category, paid by, and amount. So what you need to do is just put in who needs to pay for what, say for example, 11th of March, category, maybe say food, and then who needs to pay for that, let's say bride family, and they paid £500. You just put that in. Once you put that in, that will be captured at the top here. So you know what is being paid overall. And then this one helps you to see overall who's paid what the budget is and who paid for what. Yeah. So that helps you to kind of like see where you're at. And the next category is the guest list. You need to list down the guest tag if they're going to be bride's family, bride's friend, bride work, groom's family, groom friend, groom work, couple friend, church. You just list down the names, put the guest tag in there. If the invitation has been sent out or not, put that in there. RSVP response. If they're attending, not attending, unable to attend, you kind of select that. Accommodation. I mean, if you need their details, you can assign that in. If they're sending a gift, you can select that as well. So this will capture everything and help you know where everyone's at. So it's help you to see total guests you've invited, who is confirmed, amount of invitation that's been sent. And once you enter all that, on this side there, you have the filter. So if you want to see, okay, who is my bride's friend? You can click in there and then it will list who the bride's friends are. Or I want to see, who am I inviting from church? You can come here and it will help you to see all their names and their status as well. And if you don't want that, you can just press delete and then it will show everyone's name back up again. And the next category is the sitting plan. So once you have the guest list assigned, now this one will help you to see, once you can just come here and say, for example, okay, I need the bridesmaids. This will list all the bridesmaids who have not been assigned a seat. And if you want to decide, okay, I want them in table number 2, it will bring up the names. You just select it. And as you're selecting the names, they will be disappearing on this next on there. So you can see when I select the names, it's dropping down. So this helps you to kind of like choose the category. If you want, say, church, you can then, these are the people selected. You can see there. Then once you select the names, let's say that list would reduce down. So it helps you to kind of like assign people to various tables. This has up to 30 tables. So you got enough to play around with. And at the top there tells you who is still yet to be assigned. And you can just keep going Like I said, if you want to change it, so you don't want the filter in there again, you can just take that off, and that's it. And then the next category is once you've kind of like assigned everyone to a table. Now this one is just a sitting table list. So what you need to do is just copy the list from here, copy, and then once you come here, just drop paste it, and sort out everyone's name alphabetically. So that's what you need to do per table. Obviously, with this, you can change it and make it a bit different from what you think. But that's what this worksheet is there for. The floor plan. Obviously, when you have the wedding, not everyone might have a picture of what you're trying to do. What this one will help you to do is you can actually have a floor plan for the reception and ceremony. So what you do here is, let's say, okay, you know what? I know the stage is the top there. You can just copy the stage, drop it in there. I want the tables, if they're round, you just come here and drop them in. So those will help you. They can have a picture of what you're trying to do. So you can kind of like help them to see the plan that you have. If you have, everything you need was in it. So you got the drink table, you got the food table, you have the tables that they're round, you have the stage, dance floor area, gift table, a cake table, cocktail, you have the doors here, and the toilets. Yeah, you can just copy and paste, so you kind of create a picture for those who are helping you out to know what your vision and game plan is. And the last one here is a table number. So the table number, you can just use this if you need to print table numbers for your actual wedding. So I hope this has been very helpful. This is what I normally use to help with the various weddings that me and my wife have been able to help over the years. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you have a great, great wedding. So thanks for joining. For those who want to get template for this, I will be leaving a link below where you can actually get the template. And I will see you guys next time.